So this morning we got up pretty early and we are near Breckenridge. We're climbing 2 peaks, which should be amazing. Just the start of the trail right now. We're in the middle of the woods. We're in the middle of nowhere pretty much. And it looks, it's a little bit chilly, which is why I'm wearing a jacket. It's like 46 degrees or something like that, somewhere around there. We're going to Mohawk Lake and then we're heading up onto the peaks, 2 different peaks. We're climbing up Pacific Peak and then Crystal Peak, which combined has a elevation gain of, I believe, 4,313 feet. And I'll put the link to the trail that we're doing today. By we, I mean my tour manager and I. And this is going to be amazing. I can't wait to get to the peaks and get to the Mohawk Lake. But before we get there, we still have a long way to go. Let's get to hiking. As you would expect, this trail is an extreme trail and it's also rough terrain, but the scenery that we've come across cannot beat that. Makes it all worth it. And mind you, we're only 2 miles in. We still have about 10 miles left of this trail, but oh my gosh. It's so beautiful. We've come across creeks, ponds, and we got a clear view of Mount Ellen, which is, I believe, 14,000 feet up there. With the clouds and everything, oh my gosh, that was worth it. Let's keep on trekking. 10 miles to go. So I think in the woods where nobody can reach us, and it's right over here. It's actually a cabin that we did see in the video, but didn't think it was on the trail, but it ended up being on the trail. So it looks pretty inside, and well, for a cabin. Real quick before the mosquitoes bite me to death here, I want to show you guys a little bit of the cabin. Well, actually the whole entire cabin, because it's super small. But here we have a bench to sit at, a desk if you need, a fireplace if you want to get warm, and probably cook some marshmallows there. Another desk right there to probably put your stuff maybe. There's a bed up there. Not really a bed, it's just more like a platform for you to lay on. But yeah, it's a pretty nice little cabin. It's open wide, so I have no clue like if this belongs to anybody, but it's a pretty nice cabin in the middle of nowhere. And let me show you the view that you get when you walk out the door. We are getting warmed up by mosquitoes. As you can tell, they're all over me. So we're gonna keep on walking, and but yeah, that little cabin is super nice. We have made it to our first stop, our first hem, as we call it, and that is Continental Falls right here, falling right aside of me. And right down there is Lower Vista Falls, which right now, in the winter time, this would probably be frozen and it'll look pretty cool, but it's summertime and this still looks pretty awesome. Very big falls in the middle of the mountains. When you hike as much as we do, you probably know that in every trail you always find something, and back there there's what seemed to be a chairlift hub, I guess, or a station. It must have gotten messed up on a storm or a snowstorm or something, and it fell down. So now there's a bunch of wood and pieces from that station over there. And as you can tell, we made it to Mohawk Lake. Sorry, I'm a little bit winded just because the hike up here is a little bit, it's quite a bit of a hike. But this is 100% worth it to come over here and see this beautiful lake. Let me show you what I mean. 100% worth it. So as you can imagine, it's still a beautiful trail. I highly recommend you coming over here. Sorry if you can't hear me, it's kind of windy up here. But anyways, we couldn't make it to the peak because the peak is back there, and there's not really any good way to get up there without possibly hurting ourselves. Just because the trail there, I mean, it's pretty steep, and we don't have the right equipment for that. We don't have the right equipment to go up there, and well, unfortunately, we didn't make it to the top, but we did climb over 13. Well, right now we're at 2,219 feet from the point that we started. I came out to one of the mountains. I climbed up And oh, now we're up here, and like the view here is so beautiful. Let me show you guys what I mean.